Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Today we'll be talking about the June budget. Me and my sister have extended our stay for another 2 weeks, yay!
So they are very much gonna be a part of our June budget, at least for the first week. I think they're gonna go home in 2 weeks. So we have to work off of an every other week, like an every 2 week situation because their mom is off work every 2 weekends. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so it's either they're either gonna, it has to be an even number of weeks. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna be talking about the June 22. I'm gonna be talking about our June 2020 budget today. So let's hop right into the video. Okay, so starting out, this is my 2020 budget planner, which interestingly enough ends in June because it actually runs the academic year. So it starts in July and it ends in June. So anyway, this is my Erin Condren Deluxe monthly planner, and we're gonna go ahead and flip to literally the last tab in here, which brings us to the June monthly spread, and let's talk about this. Also, I'm filming on my vlog camera, which I believe personally has terrible audio because it doesn't have a place for an external microphone so that I can plug up some kind of microphone. So anyway, bear with me. So anyway, let's talk about the month and like the overview, and then we'll talk about the actual budget. Here I have all of our bills laid out as well as all of our paydays. My husband gets paid every Friday. I get paid every other Thursday. And then the YouTube payday will fall on Monday, June the 22nd. And then these are the reoccurring business expenses, basically subscriptions that I pay for the business. So those are outlined over here. And I don't think any of them are like, let's see. That's a few dollars. I think the highest one might be $15, which is Acuity. So they're just small amounts. So I don't really, I mean, like they're a part of our budget very much so, but like I kind of just check them whenever they're paid. We do have some irregular bills, so we have to pay a fee and we have to pay my a medical bill. So the fee is like $200 and the medical bill is like $100. I think that the med bill is actually due at the end of May. So I think I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it is. So that might be a bill that's actually paid at the end of May. And then also we have I have a little place for our upcoming expenses, or just things that are going to be coming up for the month of July, which includes hosting for my website, my domain renewal, and then July is an extra pay period for an extra pay month for the both of us. And then also I'll need to figure out what I'm going to do for my new planner. Anyway, that's the story that this is telling. That's pretty much it. I do have extra funds coming in because I got a raise. So that's the situation, which I am going to be accounting for that in the actual budget. So let's go ahead and flip to that. So for income for the month of June, we are going to budget $6,350, and that is, the vast majority of that is going to come from our full-time jobs, and then the rest of it will be what I pay myself from the business, which obviously Google, like AdSense is down, like budgets are cut, so therefore people are getting paid less through AdSense programs or ad programs like Google AdSense. So that's a situation that has been occurring for the past couple of months. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's just one thing that I wanted to notate. Let's talk about the actual budget. So this month, first of all, I'm using like a color pen, and this is a Papermate Ink Joy Gel in 0.7. This is one of my favorites. I have all of the colors. I just found this lying around and it matched. And these stickers I do make myself, and I sell them in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. But I do have the days that the bills are due, which is a new thing, a never before seen thing. So that's what that is, in case anybody was wondering, because typically I don't put that on this page. And you know, if you're like fast forwarding to this page or whatever, then you might not have known in the past that like when the bills were due. So let's go ahead and talk about the budget. For our mortgage, we're gonna budget $1,471.46, and that's a fixed cost, and we pay that every month. And if you're new here, we just moved into this new home that we built maybe like 5 months ago. So we haven't been paying our mortgage but a few times. I think June will be maybe like the 5th time that June will make the 5th time that we paid, I think. So we haven't been paying that for too long, just FYI. For health insurance, that is for my husband. So vision and dental come from so a lot of things come actually from my, next up we have health insurance, which that is just for my husband. My health insurance comes out of my paycheck, and I have a lot of things coming out of my paycheck actually, to include like a bunch of insurances. My husband's on my vision plan and my dental plan because there's some kind of like perk of doing so through my job. And also I have all kind of like donations, and I have a whole bunch of payroll deductions. I have like hella money coming out for taxes. It's just a lot going on over there. So anyway, just as an FYI, this is just for my husband, and we pay each month $218.61. Next up we have electricity. That bill is going to come in at $113.90. Georgia Power has already sent me the bill. Car insurance is going to be $1,234 flat for the next 6 months, and this is with a discount. We will save hundreds of dollars by paying this in full as opposed to paying the car insurance monthly. So we've been doing that for years, and I was searching around trying to get like different quotes from other insurance providers, and I was getting like decent quotes, but once they like ran that final check to check our driving records, that's when it became an issue. So yeah, we are going to be paying a lot in June for, I don't think this is the most we've ever paid by any stretch, but it definitely is a whole lot for car insurance. But that's because there are speeding tickets and traffic violations and whatnot on our account, if anybody was wondering why that's so high. Because I know that's probably not high for some cities and states, but for us in Georgia with our cars, that's a lot of money. Now granted, I do have to have like the highest coverage imaginable, I feel like, for the work that I do. So that's like a requirement that I have like high coverage on certain things, and I like high coverage anyway, so it's not an issue for me. So that is a thing that we pretty much have the highest for like literally everything, but also that's really high because of the traffic violations. Next up, moving on to cell phones, we have AT&T prepaid plans. And of course I'll mention this whenever we wrap up May, but my husband's phone was stolen, so we had to replace it. So that was money that we had to take from our budget or from our savings, but we are kind of like back in, you might know this if you follow us on Instagram, but we're kind of like back in full swing, full effect, all of that good stuff. So our cell phone bill remained the same at $71.50, and that's with discounts for us having auto pay and having a joint account and all of that good stuff. And that's, like I said, through AT&T prepaid. Next we have student loan. So this is for my husband's student loan. I will link a video up above where you can see our plan to finish paying off his student loans within the next few months. But otherwise, my student loan would be due, but because we're in a virus, like the loans are in some kind of like virus forbearance until September, we have decided to roll my minimum payment into his, and also like be putting aside all the funds that we possibly can in the meantime while the forbearance is taking place, because his loans, the same thing is like for his loans too, but we're choosing to continue to pay minimum payments, and we're also saving up to pay off his student loans, and we're literally like racing to do that before the forbearance ends, because not only is interest not accruing, but bills are not due during this time. Anyway, I'll link a video and you guys can like hear all about that, but that's the situation there. So with rolling my payment into his, that gives us a grand total of $295.20. For cable/internet, I am going to budget an amount that I'm not sure will be the actual amount. To be honest, I'm gonna budget $130. I think our bill, this will be like basically our first month having a regular bill, and I think it's like $128 and change, but I'm gonna budget $130 because I don't have the bill yet. For water/sewer, I also don't have that bill yet, and I don't get it until either of those until the month actually starts. So I'm just gonna budget $60 for that. For security, that is through Vivint. I actually have a code for that. If you ever need it, let me know. I don't think it's in the description box, and that is $51.47 every month. For life insurances, those are due on the same day because we signed up on the same day after we got married. So those are due on the 27th at $42.19. For our allowances, we're going to budget the same amount we always budget. And this does not mean that we don't go over this, but some months we go over, some months we stay under. It kind of all balances out in the end, but that's what we're going to budget for our allowance or our personal spending money. I know some people call it like personal spending money, blow money. I just call it an allowance because I call a spade a spade. So that's pretty much what it is. I feel like a budget in and of itself is an allowance. Moving on to beauty, I'm going to budget $50, and that's for like hair cuts and like a pedicure maybe, or an eyebrow waxing whenever outside is open. One thing that my husband gets regularly every month is a haircut or two, and I always get my brows waxed maybe once or twice. So $50 normally covers all of that. For donations / gifts, I'm going to budget $100. I don't have any like birthdays or anything in June. However, we do a lot more giving than $100 per month, but that's for like, I feel like there's all the time, you know, maybe like a death, for like a coworker has a death in the family, so we're donating to that cause, or like a baby shower, or there's always some kind of cause like that. So I just budget $100 so that we can kind of keep track of all the giving that we're doing, the smaller giving. For toiletries, $50 normally does the trick. I can tell you that we're still really trying to get adjusted to the house, and I don't really know. I just feel like I haven't really figured out like a real true budget as of yet for toiletries, which is like trash bags, paper towels, and all that good stuff. But we're gonna budget $50. For a house, we're gonna budget $150, and this is for like basically home related things. So not really like repairs unless it's like a small repair, which of course the house is new, so everything has been covered under warranty or will be covered under warranty. But just like random house things that we may not have had to purchase or didn't have to purchase whenever we were renting. For business, I'm gonna budget $400. Now, technically the business budget is separate, but because it's so small and I don't really spend a lot for the business, I just choose to put it in this overall budget. Next up, we have gas for our cars. We're gonna budget $120. Weird times that we're living in. I'm gonna be commuting to work. I think I'm gonna be working like 2-3 days out the week in the office, at least a minimum of 2. So technically I am gonna be using gas. I'm not really sure how much. I'm taking my nieces back in June. I don't really know. So I'm just gonna budget the amount that we normally would budget, which was about $120. For food / dates, that is gonna be $690. This does not mean we're gonna stick to this. I mean, the goal is to stick to this, but I'm just saying this is literally our problem category because I don't know, we don't really buy things, like we don't buy shoes or clothes, or we don't buy actual items. We just like experiences. So if we want to go on a date, then we normally do. And honestly, sometimes if that means going over budget, then really we just go. And so that's the thing. But with my nieces here and everything, we're gonna see if we can stick to like a $700-ish budget for June. So I have my husband's student loan here again, and that would be for like any excess that we plan to put towards the loan. So I'm just gonna put 0 now because I'm actually gonna put that in savings, and then my minimum payment is not due, so we're gonna put 0. We're gonna budget 0 for travel. That brings us to savings, so that would leave $501.67 if we bring in this income. If we bring in more, then we can save more. Or if we spend a whole lot less, then we can, but honestly, usually we normally are like a little bit over budget. I don't think there's ever a month where we have been like under budget in all of our categories. So if you add all of this up, it will give you $6,350, which is the equivalent of our income because we do an every dollar budget. We account for literally every single dollar that comes into our bank accounts or that comes into the home. So this is our budget for the month of June. So that is what our June budget is going to entail. Like I said, mainly just budgeting for extra mouths and just budgeting for the medical bill and then the fee that we have to pay. So that's kind of going to be like what's going on for June. So like I mentioned, May is going very well. We're still on track with meeting our financial goals, especially with the increase in income. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing and how we project June will go. So just stay tuned for our mid-month budget check-in. That'll be around the middle of June, around like June 15th, if you want to see like how we're doing around the middle of the month. And of course, at the end of the month, I always do end of the month budget recap. So that's it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Bye guys.